back for an update. There's water now. A lot has happened since my last update in my SIBO video. This is the first time I'm actually getting on camera with zero idea of what I'm gonna say. I mean, I know what the topic is. Obviously, you saw it in the title. I have a diagnosis of sorts. So if you saw my last video, I do not have SIBO. More water. But I did have extensive blood work done, and I have elevated levels of Candida. So I have a Candida Albicans overgrowth. That's what's going on so far. So I'm going to back up a little bit and tell you guys that I did see a new GI recently, and I had expressed that I feel like I need to see a functional or integrative medicine doctor after we had a chat. And she agreed. She's like, I think it's a good idea. So I am seeing an integrative medicine doctor now. I've seen them twice. The first appointment was for a consultation. I just told them my entire story, starting from 2014 till now. And then they gave me 4 prescriptions. They said to get the extensive blood work that I had asked for. I said I wanted my micronutrient levels tested, and then she knew what other things we should be looking for in that blood work. So we tested for a bunch of stuff, and the elevated levels of Candida is what we saw. So that was the first thing I was supposed to do. The second thing I was supposed to do is get a GI Map plus Zonulin test. That is an at-home stool test. I did do that. That was fun. I didn't document that one because I just thought that would be like taking it a little too far. So FedEx actually comes and they like pick up the box, and so I'm just waiting to hear back from my integrative doctor on what's going on, because she said that yes, I have elevated levels of Candida, but we want to know why. We want to see what else is happening here. And that is where the GI Map test comes in. That wasn't fun to pay for, but it's like almost $900. This stuff ain't cheap. Luckily, the blood work was fine. That was like very inexpensive. But we have some other tests that I'm supposed to get done as well, and I didn't yet. One of them being an abdominal x-ray, and then I'm supposed to get a food sensitivity test, which is probably not covered. So all of this stuff is very expensive, but I feel like I have no choice. If I didn't have these tests done, I would just be Googling and trying to figure this out for myself. So what's Candida? If you don't know what Candida is, and I really wasn't sure what it was either, but it's a yeast. We all have Candida in our bodies, but when we have too much, it's not good. So I have too much. Candida can be found in various parts of your body. I am sure mine is in my gut, being I'm having these chronic constipation issues. Since September, I've been sick. Like sore throat, nasal congestion, thought it was allergies, then I had the flu, then I had COVID, then I felt sick again. And in the past couple of weeks, my throat and my nose have actually been fine, but now I'm feeling a whole host of other different things happening with me. The biggest things I've been feeling recently is depression and anxiety. That is like truly heightened, and that is why I haven't been making as many videos, because this takes a lot of work and you have to be in like a decent frame of mind to film videos. If I ain't feeling right in my head, I am not gonna start filming a video. I just don't want to. What else have I been feeling? There's so much. Oh, fatigue, extreme exhaustion. I mean, crazy. Like, I work in a gym. I have to force myself to work out, and that was never the case. Like, I never felt this bad, but I'm forcing myself. I'm also feeling joint pain. I'm feeling I've been having this weird pain in my arm for several months now. My left hip is giving me some problems. I can't walk without feeling something not right in my left hip. I do just feel like I'm kind of falling apart. I don't know why this is happening. I have a theory. I don't even know if I told my doctor this. I'm just going to tell you. I have the feeling I've had a Candida overgrowth for years. I feel like it's probably been happening for years and it's just been there for a long time, but maybe it wasn't that bad. What feeds Candida is sugar. Now, you all know I eat really, really well. There was a day late in December where I decided consciously to just eat pizza and cookies and not give a crap. We had a friend over and we were making cookies, and I made them like halfway healthy, but you know, I overindulged. I totally overindulged. I had a couple slices of pizza in the afternoon. I had a slice at night. My body is not used to this, okay? And honestly, I feel like ever since that one day, I went downhill. I just went completely downhill. And believe me, I've beat myself up over this because I know that I've had IBS and like I probably shouldn't be overindulging, but I did it one day and I just didn't imagine that it would manifest into this issue. I mean, there's so many people that eat like crap. I'm like, can I just have a day of not really caring and just kind of letting go? But this is what happened. So that's just my theory, just because the timing of everything, like I just started going really downhill after that day. So I feel like I fed the fungus and this is where we're at. Now that I know I have a Candida overgrowth, you might be wondering, well, what are you doing? How are you fixing this? Like I said, I'm seeing an integrative doctor and I am on an antifungal. It's called Diflucan. I've also been on a Candida diet, and that is kind of hard, but kind of not hard. I eat really well, like I said, so the only difference is that I cannot have fruit. Now, before I go on, I've watched a lot of Candida videos by people, and I know that like some people do things a little differently. Some people do have fruit, but they have the lower sugar fruits. My instructions from my doctor said no fruit or fruit juices. So I am going according to my doctor's orders, okay? She is also allowing me to have whole grains, like complex carbs. Some other people avoid grains completely. I am just being very good about how much I'm eating. She wants me to eat protein. I love my protein, but funny enough, I didn't ever document this on YouTube yet, but I went for like maybe 5 weeks of being almost vegan, mostly January, I would say, mostly in January. I was eating meat once a day, but I was like, maybe I just need to go like whole food, plant-based, like hardcore, and because all the baby steps I was taking, it just wasn't getting me further enough. I'm like, maybe that's what I need. It didn't quite help, but I truly became a chef since then. Something magical is happening in the kitchen and I'm just like whipping up meals like crazy. Like I've never cooked so much in my life. And I think it's because I know I really shouldn't be eating out, which I don't do a lot. I just feel like I need to control what I'm eating. So I'm just like cooking everything. I'm eating more meat again now, but I'm making sure it's organic or grass-fed, pasture-raised, free-range, any kind of high-quality meat, wild-caught fish. I did give up eggs earlier this year. She is allowing me to have eggs, and I may have eggs again soon. It's just, I gave up eggs, you know, I gave up dairy, I gave up gluten. I'm not having gluten. I'm not having anything highly processed. I'm eating nuts and seeds and nut butters and seed butters. I'm eating extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. I'm drinking a lot of decaf. Oh, I gave up caffeine. Decaf green tea. I just started drinking decaf coffee because I wasn't sure if that was safe. She did say I can have that. So when I have my cup of coffee, I put in a little bit of agave nectar, like raw agave nectar. She said that that's fine with the milked almonds by Elmhurst because the ingredients are literally just almonds and water. There's no other additives, gums, fillers, any of that stuff. Oh, bone broth. I am drinking a ton of bone broth. Before she gave me the Candida diet, I took matters into my own hands. So for the first 3 days, I was under eating massively, which is no good, but I knew long term I'd be fine because I knew I couldn't keep that up forever. But I was like just drinking, like I was like cleansing. I was drinking bone broth, steamed vegetables, very little bit of like organic ground chicken, and that was it for like 3 days straight. Okay. Then little by little, as each day passed, I was upping my calories. Now my calories are back to normal. You will never catch me under eating long term. I can't even believe I got through 3 days of just drinking bone broth and steamed vegetables. That was crazy. Never again. Lately, all I've had the energy to do is take photographs of my meals that I'm so proud of and throw them up on my Instagram stories. So I've been doing that. If you don't follow me on Instagram and you're interested in my content here on YouTube, I would definitely follow me there because I'm always posting stories. I'm always posting meals. It's all I've had the energy to do is snap a picture of a meal. You might be wondering what kinds of meals I've been eating. For breakfast, I will have oats, like whether they're warmed up or if they're like cold overnight oats, or I made what I call Candida pancakes. Hopefully it's okay. I can have quinoa and I have quinoa flour. I don't really know if this is allowed because it's in flour form, but the only ingredient in quinoa flour is quinoa. So I'm going with it, okay? Not too much protein in there, but I truly enjoy it so much. Like little eggs on the side would probably round it out real nice. So I'm entertaining that. I'm entertaining doing that. I'm just not sure. This whole like controlling food thing has like, it's taking me back to my days where I used to have food issues, and I don't like it. You know, I'm such an advocate of balanced eating, you know, not having to be perfect, enjoying some foods that are maybe less than nutritious, but in moderation, but like, you know, filling most of your diet with healthy foods. Last year I was on the low FODMAP diet. Earlier this year, I'm like, okay, I'm like almost vegan. And now I'm on the Candida diet. Like, I'm just kind of tired of being on a diet. I am. And I'm really trying to just be okay with it, you know, because there is like this crazy control that I have to have over the food right now. And it has absolutely taken over my mind. It's not affecting me horribly, but it's a lot. Okay, lunches and dinners, what am I eating there? I am constantly steaming vegetables. Steamed is easier to digest, so I've been doing a little bit of raw lately, but like mostly steamed vegetables. So that, like, my meals now are like, the vegetables are like the main thing. They're like the highlight, and that's really how it should be. I feel like when we go through the darkest and the hardest of times, it's what you needed to bring you to the next level, to like up level you, to bring you to your best self. I'm hoping one day that I just look back on this time and I say, you know, if none of this happened, then I wouldn't be who I am today. I'm eating a crap ton more vegetables now, which is probably for the better. The protein and the whole grain were always like my emphasis. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll have a vegetable on the side, you know, but now it's like I'm filling that plate with vegetables. But what else am I eating? Like I said, all the proteins I mentioned before. What's basically happening is that my spices and my bone broth are really like flavoring up my meals a ton. Like, I'm just pouring bone broth on my vegetables and on my meats. I am putting like 1,000 spices on my food. The ones I've been using most lately are turmeric, thyme, cumin, ginger, salt and pepper, cinnamon. I think those are the main ones I have. All organic, get them real cheap at Trader Joe's. I've just been coming up with all different sorts of concoctions, and my grains are usually quinoa, black rice, oats, a little brown rice pasta. And yeah, I've just been experimenting. I'm like, what's in my fridge? Let's just take it all out and let's just put it all together, and it makes a great meal. And it's funny, like, people are reaching out to me like, where are you getting these recipes? And oh my God, your meals look so good. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just throwing things together on a plate and it's working. So I am having fun with it. Once I get the GI Map results back, then we will be perhaps starting me on more supplements. My doctor said she doesn't want to start me on any supplements until we know more of the story and what's going on. And that's just another thing I want to emphasize to you guys. Like, I think a lot of people are diagnosed with IBS and then they just kind of stop there. They're like, I have IBS. Well, IBS is a sign that like something is wrong with your digestive system. Something's wrong with your gut. And like, what is it? Like, do you really just want to chalk it up to, I have IBS, I can't eat these foods? No, you want to fix your gut, you know? I want to fix my gut so that my body can handle me eating anything. I don't want to be restricted. I don't want to say I can't ever eat gluten again for the rest of my life, or beans for the rest of my life. It's figuring out maybe just how much, you know, and as we know, anything in excess is no good. Anything, even a gallon of vegetables, probably not going to sit well in your stomach all at one time, you know? I just want to be able to eat whatever I want in moderation. Same with Candida. Like, I'm glad that my doctor said, okay, you have elevated Candida, but we want to know why and what's going on. I have so many different thoughts about why all this started for me back in 2014 when my daughter was 11 months old. I know this might sound wacky, but I drank an instant coffee called Organo Gold. Somebody at work sold it to me. I had it, and after I drank it for a week, my belly tightened up. And I swear to you, like, I have been constipated ever since I drank that coffee. And I feel like it might have just changed something in my gut. Like, something went haywire. And I honestly, I haven't been like pooping regularly since 2014. In recent times, if I ever had to go, like I would have to use magnesium citrate or an enema or something. And like, I hate that I have to do that. For so many years, from like say 2014 to like 2020 or 2021, I didn't really address this problem because I didn't feel that bad. But then I just kind of woke up and I was like, Karen, you should be pooping. You should really like try to fix this. And in that process, I feel like I'm kind of somewhat getting worse, but I just think because I keep trying all these different avenues to figure out what's wrong. I went on the low FODMAP diet. I stayed on it too long. I deprived my body of the variety of vegetables that I should have been feeding it. And part of me feels like I may have done myself a little more harm than good by doing that. Low FODMAP diet, for me, it didn't help make me poop. It did give me relief and a little more comfort when eating by avoiding high FODMAP foods. But, you know, I'm not going to be on the low FODMAP diet for the rest of my life. And like I said, you're eliminating so many prebiotic fibers and you're eliminating so much variety in your diet. And that is so important to have a healthy gut, is to eat the rainbow, to always have a diverse diet. You don't want to be that person that's eating the same thing day in and day out. Something I've been learning a lot about is the gut microbiome, and we have all different microbes in our gut and they all like different foods. So we need to feed all those good microbes all the good different foods, and that'll help your gut to flourish and function the way it's supposed to. Other things that could have contributed to this issue is antibiotics. Several years ago, I had so many UTIs. I don't know why. And I kept going on antibiotics. You know, when you go on antibiotics, you're killing all the bacteria in your gut, good and bad. You're wiping it out. So that ain't good. I really don't think like stress is my main problem. Honestly, I don't feel like I walk around like, you know, I switched jobs over a year ago. I went from something that I knew wasn't for me. I really didn't like it. And I went back into fitness, my original career, and I love it. Like, I became so much happier in my professional life this whole past year. And I really thought that my constipation issues might just go away because I got so much happier. I was so happy. And then things just started falling apart again, you know, with my body. So it sucks when you feel powerless. It sucks when you feel on top of the world at certain moments and like, you're gonna do this. You're gonna thrive. You're gonna do great in this life. And it all comes crashing down, you know, and just trying to figure out why. That's the part. And one last thing I'd like to talk about. I have a belly video. If you look on my YouTube shorts, I show big belly, I look pregnant. I posted it on all my social media platforms. It went mega viral on Facebook. I'm up to 1.1 million views on Facebook. People are following me. People are commenting like crazy. A lot of people have a lot of ideas about what they think I should do or what's wrong with me and all that kind of stuff. And I take it all in. It can become very stressful hearing these things. I've heard people say I may have endometriosis or ovarian cancer, or I should go carnivore. That'll help everything. It's a lot to take in, but it just did open my eyes to the fact that, number one, a lot of people are suffering. Like, this hit home with a lot of people. This reached all women. This is a very common problem amongst women. And number two is that there's so many different things that could be the issue. Like, I'm just trying to figure out my issue, but there could be somebody that's constipated, fatigued, joint pain, whatever, and they could have one of many problems. So it's like, it's literally just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. That post, it's a sign to me to keep documenting and to keep talking about this stuff. It does help people to not feel so alone. And I think that we can help each other. You know, somebody might nudge you to ask your doctor a certain question. There's no harm in that. So I think it's a good thing. And I'm not letting all those ideas overwhelm me or scare me. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants on this video. Like, I didn't even write down bullet points of what I want to talk about. So I'm going to end it here. If I forgot something major, I will just insert some footage at a later time. I will be back with another video when I get my GI map results and when I then have more protocols and more things I have to do to update you guys. And then I do have more tests I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you see there might be a lull here and there with my uploads, it probably has to do with my mental state of mind. That's it. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.